Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Woo,
It
listen.
is season 3. How did we get here, honey? How?
Uh, God's grace, because I don't
That
know.
part.
I have zero words beyond that.
I'm with you. 100%. 100%. Well, welcome to the Listen Show. If you are not familiar with us, and this is our 3rd year, but welcome because we know we get new viewers continuously, those who are coming back from season 1 and 2, and those that are brand new. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, hello, everybody. My name is Tania, and I am coming to you live from the beautiful state of Texas. And I am blessed to be co-host with my cousin sister over here.
Did we get
It's
it
been a
right?
minute.
Did we
It's
get
been
the
a minute. I had to remember which way we were pointing.
right? Well, I'm
Over
Win,
there.
and I'm the other half of Tinny and Win, and we are cousin sisters. Our dads are identical twins. They are the same person, separated but not.
Totally. And in the background, as always, is our amazing show producer, Danielle, our other cousin, sister, who is
Shout out to
amazing.
Danielle.
So, welcome everybody to season 3. We are so excited. Listen, if this is your first time, first we want to welcome you and do all that stuff. But make sure on our Facebook page that you turn your notifications on so you know every time we go live. This season will be the same time, same day, Tuesdays at 7 Eastern and
Mm-hmm.
6 Central.
That
Okay.
part. Look over there. 6 over there.
And then while you're at it, so while you're turning your notifications on and you're liking our Facebook page, make sure to then scoot over to our YouTube channel, which we'll post that link before the night is over. We'll post that link in the comments. But make sure you go in, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can totally check us out over there. Everything is rebroadcasted over on the YouTube channel. And then, of course, you can always still like and continue to comment here. So, like Wynn said, it's season 3. If you're just getting caught on to us and finding out who he is, yes, I'm speaking bad English, who he is,
Right?
you have 2 previous seasons of
Mm,
videos to get caught up on. Enjoy the
mm-mm.
binge.
It's a lot of good content.
Enjoy the binge watching. Amazing guests that we've had on the show. Looking forward to this season's guests as well. And we have so much in store. So much. Whew.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I don't know. We were terrified at first, and now I think we're excited. I think it's taken us 3 years to get to excitement, right?
I am mostly excited. Sure, I am mostly real talk. I still hold my breath some moments.
Oh,
Some
oh,
moments I still hold my
it's
breath, but
this is still live, and we are still us. And
that
if you know us
part.
personally, then you'll understand the context of that sentence completely. Oh, great. Daniel put in the chat if you all are in your down in the feed of the
Yes.
comments, our YouTube channel. We encourage you to subscribe. That way you'll be notified when the new episodes post to the Listen Show YouTube page.
Yes. And as a reminder, this show is about being real and relevant because that's the only way we know how to be.
That part.
And so we are real, we are relevant, we are as transparent as God tells us to be.
Whew.
And so we want our listeners to
Mhm.
be the same. Come
Right.
on here, chat with us, comment. We see your comments live. We do see you. We do see you, and love to give shout outs and love the feedback. So we welcome you, and let's get going. So how you doing, Win? How have you been? How have
Honey,
you been? How have you been doing? How have you been feeling? Right? Two different questions.
that's two very
Mhm.
different
It
questions.
is.
How am I doing? I am doing well. How am I feeling at this present absolute moment? A lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. So I can't narrow it down to one word, except the word would be I'm feeling a lot. Real talk. Real talk. There's a lot going on. And I'm trying my best to stay yielded and obedient and to make sure I stay on our obedience train, right? And do, girl. So to answer your question,
that train. I'm pulling
the word is a lot. So how are you doing and how are you feeling? The same two questions.
Sure. I am feeling it is well with my soul. I am doing also a lot. Also a lot. The juggle is real at times. Marriage, motherhood, entrepreneur, it's all. So sometimes it's a lot. So when I tell people I'm living by God's grace, I mean that thing. It's not speaking Christianese. It's not just saying it because it sounds good. Like it's real. It's real. It's like, okay, I am staying under his grace because if I don't, I'm gonna be a hot mess. So
real talk. Very real talk.
So that's how I'm doing. That's how I'm doing, and that's how I'm feeling.
Well, I tell you what, we have a power pack show tonight. We have an amazing season 3 that is coming up. So if you all are joining us on the replay, we want to always make sure that you in the comments let us know feedback. We want to hear what you just give us, what you received from it. If there's anything that you want to add, please, by all means. Please, by all means. So, Tania, you want to tell them tonight what the topic is?
Yeah. And I also say in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, because we'd love to know that, how far God is taking this thing. We'd love to know. So let us know also where your shout out is coming from. So tonight's topic. So we're gonna do away with all F letter topics. If you are a veteran of this show and you've been our ride or die since day one, season 1 and season 2 had plenty of every topic started with the letter F. And finally God said you can take a break from the F's. So tonight, y'all. Tonight in this season that we're in is all about accountability. Mm-hmm. And so that's where we're going tonight. We're going to hit the ground running. We're not even playing around this season and won't waste any time, pitter pattering around topics. Nope. We just going in. So it's accountability.
This is it. This is
Post in the comments. Let us know what you think about that word. Like, what's your first reaction when you hear that word? Because you're right. It's a strong word.
I was concerned about putting it as a show topic proactively, because most people who need to be accountable don't want to watch a show about accountability.
That is true.
Real talk. Yeah. So I thought about that. I was like, oh, we promoted that our show topic was going to be on accountability. And those that are not accountable are going to be like, maybe next week. But we hope that those that are on here, that you would really do some introspection and go back and watch season 2, the last episode of season 2, where Tania was letting you know that you need to finish it in her Mortal Kombat voice. This is a wonderful follow-up to that. We want to know from the previous season 2, did you finish it? Did you complete what God told you to do? And now we're here for being accountable? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will say in full transparency, I am still finishing
Hmm.
some things, but my goal and my accountability is to have them completed by the end of this year.
Good.
So I'm still finishing some things, and shout out to all those with me who are in process. In process.
That
You're not sleeping on it. You haven't kicked it to the curb. You haven't tried to hide it under your pillow. Like it's like, no, I know I'm doing it.
right.
And I'm doing it in God's grace, but I'm doing it. We're moving forward with it. So
Yeah.
that's my finish. That's my finish it.
That's
Um,
real, right? Progress
yeah.
is about moving forward and, progress over perfection. It's not about you
Okay.
feeling like you need to, unless God has given you a deadline, which is a completely different subject, okay? Because God has given us deadlines before
That's another topic for another show.
completely. That's a different level of accountability, also.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A very deep level,
Mhm.
very deep and straightforward level of
Oh,
accountability.
yes. Oh,
So,
yes.
so the definition, I loved the definition of accountability, because the definition is the fact or condition of being accountable, right? Very
Mm.
straightforward. But the synonyms to accountability is what kind of like got me in my throat. Like I had to grab my fake pearls, like, ooh,
Ooh,
because one of the synonyms of accountability
come
is
on.
obedience.
Come on. The first
And I
word. How
sat
we
there
talking about
for a
the first
minute
way out the
because I
gate?
was like, wait, Google, are you sure? Are we sure? Are we sure?
Can't be Google. Can't be.
Ooh,
Can't be.
obedience.
Mm.
So obedience, liability, reporting,
Mhm.
and answerability. So the fact or
Well,
condition of being accountable. And if we're going to attach it to God,
that
then we
part
can add the fact or condition of
of
being
being
accountable
obedient.
to God, being obedient to God,
Come on.
reporting to God.
Right. Right? Right. How did we get there? Google, how did you get us there?
Man,
Just when we were minding our
liability,
business. Right.
liability to God. Like even just
Correct.
like, okay, I am liable. I'm liable to God.
Those are some heavy words.
It was. Like I
Heavy.
said, I clutched my fake pearls. When I
Yeah.
was reading Google, I was like, no, this can't be right. Like this can't be right. It's not right.
Accountability is a strong word by itself. But now when
Mhm.
you attach that and when Google says the synonym of accountability is obedience or
Right.
liability, those are those words within themselves. It takes you to a different level. It's a deeper level than accountability by itself.
It is. It is, right? Because we can apply accountability in so many areas of life, right? In the business world, in our personal, obviously in the spiritual. There's so many places that we can apply accountability. But to know that ultimately, okay, I'm accountable to God.
That part.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
It brings a new weight. So I get the hesitancy
Yeah.
with us kicking off season
Season one.
kicking off
Season,
the
the first
season.
episode to
It's
season
such
3.
a heavy word,
Come on.
but it's so needed right now.
Right.
It's so needed right now because everybody's in these streets right now acting like they don't have anybody to be accountable to. Like, oh,
Honey.
I'm just out here living my best life. I'm just living my best life. I don't have to answer to anybody. I come and go and do as I please. And it's like,
But you don't.
but you don't.
You don't. And
You
if you
don't.
think you do, that's a whole nother conversation.
We don't even own our breath.
Come on. Come
Like
on.
we don't even own that. All of that is on loan. That right there. That was on. That was
How about
on
it?
loan.
Real talk. Real
Like,
talk.
okay, we all are accountable
Mm,
to someone. And for those of us that are not accountable to a physical person,
mhm.
we are all accountable to our creator,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So type in the comments. Let us know. Seriously, we want to know how you feel about that word.
Whew.
If it makes you clutch your fake pearls, let us know that we're not alone. That we're not alone. Like, ooh, just ooh, like, okay.
Accountability. That is the topic today. And we know it's strong, but we want to let people know this is the word God gave us. And to launch to launch the first episode here. And I love it that it's really what's setting the pace for the fourth quarter of the year. And to know that how do you finish this year? 2022. We're in October. If you're watching this on the replay, today is October 18th in the year of our Lord 2022. So you've got 3 months left of the year, right? And or 2.5. How are you handling that?
Two and a possible, two and a push for us
Right?
stage players. You got two and a possible.
2 and a possible. And are you doing what God has instructed you to do? Are you, where are you? What's the status update? We'd love to be able to help you get to your end goal, whatever God has asked you to do or instructed you to do, or what you're procrastinating on doing, or you might have a fear of doing. Let's talk about that. We've all been there, and we are all there. So there is no one here that's not that has not encountered this, and that also is walking this out moment by moment, as Tania likes to call it, moment by moment, every single day.
Right. And I think we all have to ask ourselves the same question of, are we allowing ourselves to be accountable to God?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to accountable to others that He's placed in our lives for that purpose, right? Are we allowing it? Because at the end of the day, we have to allow it. Even though the scripture, Romans 14:12, in the King James, the New King James Version, right? Uses the word shall. Now, shall, when God uses shall,
that's a whole nother. There you
go. That's a command, y'all.
Correct.
It's not an option.
It is not.
It's not an option. It's a command. And it says, so then each of us shall give account of himself or herself to God.
Well, shall.
So
honey, shall.
We've been called to do it, whether we like it or not.
It's a guarantee.
Right?
The shall.
But God has a measure of grace and mercy, so He gives some patience in it. But are we even allowing ourselves? Are we even allowing ourselves, to be accountable? Yeah. What's your thought on that scripture, Wynn?
I mean, the real talk. Are we allowing ourselves? Sometimes. And sometimes you might not be. Sometimes I think, depending on the situation, real talk, people, places, and things, of whether or not we are accountable to God for the things that we do, say, think, feel, go, be, right?
Right. And
everything, our entire
existence. You hit the nail on the head with the accountable for our feelings.
Come on, everything, our existence, everything from the rooter to the tutor, we gonna be accounted for. So the thoughts I thought versus the words I said versus the feelings I feel. Okay, everything.
Yeah, it goes back to that definition, right? And the synonym, the liability. It's like, excuse me, it's like, okay, God owns it all.
Absolutely.
And it's just on loan to me. I am fully liable for the time and the space and the energy that I take up on this precious earth. I am liable to God for it.
Come on.
Right? Because we know we're going to all have to answer for it. So, like it or not, we face an accountability one day or another. We either face an accountability here, if you're open to receive it, or you don't have a choice to face it one day. when we will all transition at some point in time, right?
There's going to be a whole lot of, well, what had happened was
Right.
what I meant. You know, you knew what I meant. You know,
Oh,
what I meant was.
so listen, y'all. I got excited because I actually found a scripture in the Bible that started off with listen. It actually started off with our show name. It is Amos 3:1. I know
Right.
Amos, way back in the
Come
end of
on.
the Old Testament. Like
Exactly.
it's like maybe 2 or 3 pages long. Amos.
Short and sweet, though, honey.
It is short and to the point.
Yes.
Amos 3:1. That Message version says, "Listen to this, Israel. God is calling you to account, and I mean all of you.
Ooh.
Everyone connected with the family that he delivered out of Egypt. Listen." Listen.
Okay.
I love
I
that.
mean, with the explanation point. Okay.
With the exclamation point, as only would be in the Message version, right?
Come on. Come
The
on.
exclamation point. But I was like, come on with the double listen. I was like, yes. But I love that the prophet was like, hey, God is calling you to account.
Right. All of you.
All of us.
No exception. All of everyone. Okay.
Everybody.
No exception.
Everybody.
Right.
Right. And so this isn't to pass judgment. This isn't to come across harsh. This topic is in true love and sincerity. And while we talking about it to y'all, we talking about it to ourselves because we certainly have not arrived in the accountability area.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
No, at times, not even a little bit, depending on what it might be.
We all accountable. Listen, there's times when you and I call each other, okay? Because you know this is on the real. Where I call you and I'm like, okay, I'm being accountable. How many times do I? So y'all should be in on our phone calls. Y'all not even ready for
No. We can't broadcast those.
No.
So listen. No, let's talk about that whole accountability partner.
That's real.
And the importance of that.
And to know, right, that you have someone who's going to hear you out, that's not going to judge you, that hopefully understands your perspective, but still will reiterate to you, well, what did God say? Because Tania's on the real with that, honey. Because I'd be like, well, listen, accountability partner, and she will listen, and then she gonna make me get my whole life together. Well, did you pray about it? What did God say about it? I don't know about it. And I'd be like, I didn't call you for that. First of all, I didn't call you. I didn't call you for that. Okay. But an accountability partner helps you get your life together, right? And prayfully that it's somebody who is with one spirit with you, right? Because that's huge.
Right.
Okay. Because if somebody's not in alignment with God and not in alignment with you, being accountable to them is, I don't know if that works. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I haven't experienced that, nor do I desire to. Anybody that is in my inner of inners, circles of inner circles, is in alignment with God. I cannot risk at this junction of my life to have those souls near me not be accountable and in alignment with God. That's, everybody else is an acquaintance. It's great. We can see each other out. We can, but you're not, you can't be in that inner place for me without being in alignment with God and allowing God to guide you. So when we talk about accountability partners, what do you feel an accountability partner? What do they do? What is the benefit of that?
Well, first of all, the first thing I would ever say out of my mouth is they need to be sent directly from God.
That part.
I think that's important, right? Because we can assign our own accountability partners all day long. And typically, the average person is going to assign somebody that's going to roll with them and be almost like a yes person, right? So that if I'm having a rough day or if I don't feel like doing something God told me to do, that person's like, oh, God knows your heart. It's okay. It's okay. No. We talking somebody that's going to be like, look, look, boo-boo. That's going to give you the clap back and be like, look, what did God call you? What is he telling you to do?
Mm-hmm.
And why aren't you doing it, right? Somebody
Correct.
that's going to challenge you in love, and like you said, call you to the carpet, call
Right.
you on it, and be like, okay, but what did God tell you to do?
Mm, mm, mm.
And why aren't you do it? Why aren't you doing it? Let's talk, let's walk through that together. You need somebody that can walk alongside you and be like, okay, what feelings, what emotions, what hindrances, what blocks are there? Like what is
Right.
it that's causing you not to want to do what you know you need to be doing in life, right? Um in the business world, that would be the greatest supervisor ever, right? That can come alongside you, that can be your cheerleader, and at the same time be, be that person to say, hey, how can I support you
Mm-hmm.
in keeping moving forward, right? And so in the spiritual, to me, it's no different. And it's just somebody that has been assigned
Mm.
by God in that season of your life to be there alongside you and not allow you to stay stuck.
Right. Right.
Now, they can't
That's good.
control our feet. They can't control our feet, right? They can't control what we do.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's still up to us as individuals to keep moving forward. But
Mm-hmm.
at least that person is going to come alongside and be like, okay, look,
Mm.
you've been standing
For a
on this
minute.
square on the board game long enough. I
Mm-hmm.
need you to, we gotta keep it moving. What can we do? What can we do?
Right.
Which is why it's so important, I think, to be assigned to that person by God, because then the grace is there to cover the
Yeah.
journey.
It's a different, I mean, honestly, having an accountability partner. I mean, and to no offense, I'm gonna say this over the interweb to the many souls who have asked me, can I be an accountability partner to them? And
Mm.
I have graciously declined. Okay. Because I know who God has assigned me to and who God has assigned to me.
Yeah.
And so you have to be wise and have discernment, that you just can't be, even if you have a good heart and you want to, it's you have to really allow God to dictate who you need to be accountable to in human form and who needs to be accountable to you, whether it's business, whether it's, people are like, oh, well, can we work out together, can we be accountability partners at the gym or eating. I can give you some insights, but God hasn't called me to be your accountability person. So unless God specifically instructs that in this season of my life, like, please don't get offended, right? It's not personal. It, it
Right.
it's kingdom. It's purpose. There there
Right.
is there is no personal. I'm not pushing you away, or I'm not saying that I don't wish to help you, but allow God to send you the person that is meant for you, right?
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
alignment, that supersedes everything. It's beyond just what you desire of, oh, I think I want this person. And Tania, you had that example where you, in one of the things you did, you wanted in the women's group, you wanted to be connected to one person, and God said, no, I want you to be connected to someone else, right? So even beyond our own personal desires, God sends
Right.
us the people we're supposed to be accountable and aligned to, because he has a bigger purpose. He can see the whole chessboard, and we are standing there with one piece, right?
Moving all the pieces.
And we have these personal
Master
preferences,
strategist.
and God is like, I'm done with your personal preferences, right?
Right.
We're getting we're you need to anoint a new king. Okay, well, this is great. The oldest brother, he fits the bill. Even the prophet got it wrong. God's like, nah, he's too much like the previous. Who I desire for the next is out in the field. He ain't even here in the house. So sometimes you have to just step back and allow God, not sometimes, but all the time, allow God to have his personal preferences in your level of accountability also, because it's beyond what you desire. He knows best.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say, in regards to all of that, That's where that obedience piece comes in,
Mm-hmm.
because it requires obedience on both sides, the person being accountable to and the person that is the actual accountability partner, right? And it
Right.
requires transparency on all sides. When we're accountable to God, when we're liable to God, it's not like He doesn't know what we're not doing.
Right. Who we
It's not
hiding
like,
from?
he steps away from the screen. It's like, oh, I didn't see what you were doing, the last 3 months or whatever. It's like,
Come on.
no, He knows.
Adam, where are you?
Yeah, He
Okay.
knows. And so, if you're struggling with accountability, um, it would be so great. It would be so great to pray and ask God to send you an accountability partner in this season.
Absolutely.
And we love y'all, but don't blow up our message. Don't blow up our message chat asking,
No,
asking,
neither of us.
asking us. Because guess what we gonna do? We gonna pray about it. Um, we gonna pray about it.
Honey,
And I guarantee you, if you ask, you shall receive.
that part.
Right? If you're serious with God about, hey, I need some accountability partners in my life in these areas where in my life where I seem stuck
Yeah.
or I'm not progressing or moving the way I should be, right?
Being honest with
It's
yourself is going to require that, right? In order for you to even pray that prayer.
That is true. That is very true. Transparency on all sides with ourselves and with God and with the people that He sends.
That part. So you want to read your last scripture, your TBT Tania's translation?
Oh, I did have a third. Haha,
You
y'all
should.
got jokes.
Shout out to Danielle, the
TPT.
producer, for that. That was great.
For the record, I take zero credit for this translation. The TPT stands for the Passion Translation.
It does.
It is Hebrews 4 and 13 that says, there is not one person who can hide their thoughts from God, for nothing that we do remains a secret, and nothing created is concealed, but everything is exposed and
Ooh.
defenseless before His eyes,
Mm,
to whom we must render an account.
that part.
So basically, that kind of sums up everything we just said, right? Like there is nothing
That's
There
it.
is nothing God ain't seeing. Once again, using bad English tonight. There is nothing God ain't seeing, hearing, knowing. So you
It
might as well
is.
you might as well go ahead and give an account anyway.
That part.
Because at the end of the day, it's just a beautiful conversation. Because it's not like He doesn't. No, He just wants us. He just wants us to have the conversation, right?
Just being honest, right? He just wants your honesty. And you'd be surprised the grace that God will give, right? It's there's a measure of grace. So
Yes,
this is
and
good.
I think one of the qualities, right, of a great and a God-given accountability partner is their grace.
Yeah.
That they will have a measure of grace, right? Just to even walk alongside you. They'll be an amazing listener, non-judgmental,
Mm-hmm.
um, and empathetic, but not so empathetic that they get stuck along with you
Right.
or
That,
they allow you to stay where you are. It's like, no, I empathize. I empathize. Okay, we gonna spend 5 minutes crying it out. Okay. Now let's talk about how we can start moving it forward again. Like what's it gonna take, right? What do you think? What are some great qualities of an accountability partner?
ooh, somebody that's really um, going to allow you to be in the moment, but also walk alongside you in that situation or scenario or whatever that you're experiencing, right? Till you at least reach where God has you. And there's a process. It's not, there's never really, I don't feel there's an end goal. Because it's a journey. But
Yeah.
yeah, someone with a level of grace and someone that's not dealing with the same issues all the time as you, right? So if you have an accountability partner and you say, I want you to keep me accountable on what I eat, but yet we want to go out to the buffet together. Okay, that's not an accountability partner. If you have somebody that you love to shop and they love to shop, that's not an accountability partner. Okay, if not shopping is the goal or saving is the goal, right? So
That
I
part.
pray that, you know, God sends you someone who has you know, a level of discipline and a level of a measure in the area that you desire accountability in, because there is nothing like having an accountability partner who does not. And then neither of you are accountable. And then what is the point?
Right. And I think it's okay if that person has had that maybe that same struggle in their life
Yeah.
and overcame it with God's help, right?
Right.
Because
That
that's
part.
to me, that's where that empathy kicks in of,
Right.
okay, I've been exactly where you are,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and here's how God blessed me to get through it. And here's how he's showing me you can get through it, right?
Right.
But I agree with you. No, if that person has a very much fresh shopaholic, a shopping addiction,
Yeah.
that's
No.
the last person that you need to be accountable to, if you're trying to save or if you're trying to better your finances or whatever, and shopping is one of the issues that
Right.
has led to your lack of saving.
Uh,
It's like, I mean, like, oh no, that's the last person you need.
no.
Like, those people have their place in life. The ones that's going to text you and be like, so and so having a sale right
Right.
now.
Right.
You
Yes.
down? It's like, but that's not those aren't the accountability
No.
partners we're talking
No.
about. That's
No.
not, no. We're talking about the ones that's gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
I'm
Right.
calling you and you telling me you standing in the store right now. Why are you in the store? What do you need? Those are the accountability partners we're talking about.
Real
Walk
talk.
away, put it
That's it.
down and walk away.
Mhm.
Those are the people that can be real and relevant
Mhm.
with you in your life.
That's I mean, it's very real. If you are finding yourself shopping every time you get paid for things that are not unnecessary, and you haven't established a savings to live off of,
Right.
uh, then yeah, you might want to adjust your priorities, right? So that there's that. Those are accountabilities on so many levels, and ask God to send you. If you need an accountability partner for every area of your life, God will provide that. It may not be a one and done with one person either. So
Mhm.
I know for me, I have multiple accountability partners regarding multiple things,
Mhm.
depending on what they are, because God has really directed me in this season that he's shifting me in on, okay, this is for this person, this is with this person, and to use it accordingly, right? And to connect accordingly. And this is, you're not switching and bringing this over here to this and that over this. No. This is
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Stay in alignment, because God has also given the person you're accountable to the grace for that specific area. And so they may not have the grace in another area for you. So it's not just one all. You want to definitely be in prayer about that.
Yeah, and I love that you brought up the different areas, different
Mhm.
accountability partners for the different areas of your
Very
life.
much.
So, my husband and I, we have accountability partners even for our marriage.
Yeah.
And shout out to that couple. I am not saying your names. You know who you are if you're watching this now or on the replay, because I'm not saying your names because I don't want to share you with anybody else. So
Real talk.
other people reaching out to you saying, "Oh, can you be our couple too?" No, 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 not sharing. But we even have an accountability couple for our marriage, right?
Right.
So
Right.
he has a safe man of God that he can go to and talk to and can bring him on the come up. And I
Mhm.
have a woman of God that can do the same,
Yeah,
right? Different, like you said, different seasons, different needs,
correct.
different areas of life. So I would encourage all the couples out there, if you're married and you don't have accountability partners for your marriage, be
Ooh,
in prayer about that one
real talk.
because we all need someone. God put us here on this
Mhm.
earth as
Mm,
part of community, and you can't do it alone.
no.
Not in 2022. You
I mean, and
cannot
nor should you.
do
That's
it
really
alone.
the key. You might feel like you can, but it is definitely not in God's will. God created us to be in community. So please be in prayer on every area of your life, having one or two or whomever God instructs of accountability with that. So I love this. If you all are joining us, pop in on the comments.
Yes.
Today's session, again, today's episode is about accountability
Mm, mm.
on the backside of last season's last episode, which was Finish It. So we're just bringing it forward, and hopefully you have finished and now are accountable to whatever God has instructed you to do. But let's talk about that. Let's bring it forward in our discussion. What has God given you to do that you have not finished yet?
Mm, yeah. Yeah, that part. There's so
Mm,
many areas, you know, that I won't go into depth in this episode. We'll see if
yeah.
God has me share later on in the season. But there's a few areas where I personally know it's been quite the I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to use the word struggle, but it's been quite the what's the word? Pushback.
Okay.
It's been pushback. A little from me, but also even to a little from outside influences, right?
Okay.
That definitely have made it difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. Like I can tell in some areas I can flow through it just fine,
Mm-hmm.
flow through it just fine, right? And then there's those one or two areas where it's like, okay, this is this is uphill. Like we're not coasting flat on the treadmill. Like, wait, I didn't hit an incline, like an incline,
Right.
and I'm having to like, okay, I can't even talk and walk with this one. Like all I can do is focus
Mm,
on the walking, on the moving forward. And so I love having the accountability partners in my life in this season. One, because they're not going to allow me to quit,
mm.
right? And if we're all honest with ourselves, we've wanted to quit in some area of our lives at
Honey,
some point. We've all been there, done that. We got the t shirt.
listen,
Right? That was just like, um,
we
I'm
tapping
out.
out. We
I'm out.
tapping out. We there's been plenty of times when I have called you and I was like, let's touch the screen. Okay, we tapped out. Okay, it's your turn now. I'm good. I'm tapped out. Tag, you are it.
Right. And I love the beauty of the accountability partners in our lives because we can be that real and transparent with them.
Hmm.
And like I said, but they won't let us quit
Right.
because they're on an assignment from God and they're like, okay, what you're not going to do is mess with my obedience because God had
Ooh.
told me that I'm supposed to be connected to you in this season and in this
Mm,
way. So you're not fitting.
mm,
I'm just using all kinds of
mm.
bad words, y'all, just all kinds of non-English ebonics. You're not fitting to mess with my blessings because you want to tap out.
Oh, that ripple effect. The
It's like
ripple effect.
if I gotta pull you along, if I gotta drag you, no, you are getting across this finish line,
Right.
getting across it, right? Kicking and screaming, crying, whatever. No.
100%. And to your point, there's things that we may have considered finished. And God came back and was like, you're not done yet.
No.
What,
You're not
what you
done.
talking about, Willis? What you talking about?
She's like, nope, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. So because I'm not finished, God says, because I'm not finished, you're not finished.
Mm, mm, mm.
There's more to do. There's more to be. You done? You right. We done with this purpose over here, but now there's this purpose over here because I put multiple purposes
Oh,
in each person that I created.
honey,
So you got to stay with me because we shifting and we moving
it's
constantly.
like a marathon, and God is like, there's legs to this race, and I'm just like, but listen, sister's tired. She's tapped out. Okay, I'm passing the baton. And he's like, listen, there is no such thing as sister's tired. Go ahead, you can sit down for a second, get you some water, catch your breath. And I'm gonna need you to get on up here. We're gonna finish this next leg. And I'm just like, yeah, we legged out. We legged out. You just cannot just, yeah. But the alternative is not to be on this earth. So that part, right? If you're still here, God still has a purpose for you.
Right.
So there is no permanent tap out until you have a tap out.
Right. And I love how even in the accountability partnerships, right? Everything we go through is to bless someone else,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's so that we can relate to who he assigns us to. It's so that we can have those real and relevant conversations,
Right.
and be like, I know where you are. I hear you. Not only do I hear you, but I understand. Like, oh, I so get it. You wanted, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to call somebody out of their name. I get it. So get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But that person is on assignment from God to constantly call you up.
Come
It's like,
on.
okay, come on. No. We're not going, no, we're not going down.
Mm,
We're gonna
mm,
keep
mm.
we're gonna keep moving, gonna keep it up. Let's keep
That's
moving
right.
forward.
That's right.
Right? Um, so I love that this was our season opener topic. Um, if you are watching this, whether live or on replay, we would love to hear your comments on what you feel are some necessary character traits in an accountability partner.
Yeah.
Like, what are you looking for? What do you believe God is looking for in someone to be accountable in your life, in whatever area that may be in? We'd love to hear it. Whew. So, when?
Honey.
What are the consequences? Do we even understand the consequences to our delayed obedience? Right? Because it's a synonym of accountability. So, what are the consequences? Do we even know what the consequences are? Have we
Listen.
experienced the consequences?
I told them last month, I said, listen here, you either have generational blessings or generational curses tied to your obedience. You get to make that choice of how that ripple effect keeps going, like a wake on the
Right.
water, because wakes just don't ever end. They just turn into other waves. Okay.
Mhm.
God started the first wave when he created the earth, and it hasn't stopped waving since. So, again, generational blessing or generational curse. That is the ripple effect of the decisions that you make if you are not in obedience. And we're going to just call it as it is. At this point, I think 3 years in, call a spade a spade. If you are not in obedience, you're not in obedience. And whether that's delayed, whether that's intentional, unintentional, procrastination, whatever you want to dress it up, okay, and put lipstick on a pig is still a pig. So however you want to make that look and justify in your mind, honey, if you're not doing it now and doing it swiftly, then anything else other than that is considered disobedience. So the consequences of it, it's not looking good for you, your bloodline, those connected to you. It's not. You definitely are impeding your blessings, your favor, your protection. You want to be mindful when you make decisions to not be in obedience to what God has instructed you to do.
Right. And
Dangerous.
I'm just going to add to that. Amen and amen. I'm just going to add to that what I've been saying since season 1. And at this point, just needs to be on a shirt, which is who is waiting on your obedience?
That part.
Why are you sitting there delaying it, right? Delaying the obedience, delaying the accountability. Who is waiting on it? Who's waiting for whatever it is that you keep sitting on? Like there is somebody out there saying, I wish there was a book on this topic. I wish there was a blog on this topic. I wish I could say I know somebody or have read somebody that's gone through this. Right? So who's waiting on it? Because there's somebody waiting on it. Right? We are called and we are commanded to give our testimony, right?
Right.
We overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony.
That part.
Both are needed. So who is waiting on you to be accountable to God to say, okay, I'm surrendering my attitude and my fears and my doubts and my no's for your yes. And that's where we need somebody that can then come along beside us, not somebody, be someone or someone's that can come along beside us, right? And keep us on yes. And not, oh, I'll think about it, or I'm sidetracked, or the answer is just tapping out and completely turning our head away.
100.
Right?
100.
Somebody that can help keep us right here. Like, okay, let's get it done. Let's get it done.
Where are you with that? I am the queen of sending emails asking status updates. The queen of it. So where are we with this? Where are you with this? What's the status update? Right? You need that professional thorn in your flesh. And sometimes you need that spiritual thorn in your flesh. It just says, hey, where are you with that? I know this was your goal, right? You talked about this. Right. Where are you with this? Right? You want to lose weight? You want to buy a house? You want to, whatever you want to do. Okay, well, where are we with that? What are you doing moment by moment, day by day, week by week, month by month to work towards the goal that you have or that what God has assigned you to do?
Yeah.
Are we doing nothing?
Well, maybe if you don't get a response to that status email, the answer might be nothing.
Silence. Crickets on the email. Crickets. How are we? Where are we with this? Where are we? Because I'm always going to use a we. It might be you, but where are we with this, right? Because I'm holding myself accountable to you, just like you are accountable to me. So where are we with this? There is no judgment, right?
No.
None.
No. Because we've all sinned and fallen short of God's glory, right?
Correct.
So who is anybody to judge anybody?
Not at all.
On anything. It's like, no, we don't. No, we don't do that. And if there's people in your life that are judgy, which is not a word, but we're making it a word tonight. If there's people in your life that are judgy,
you gotta go.
No. And those are not accountability partners. No. Hold you accountable? Yes. Judgy? No.
Not in any capacity. Gotta go.
Yeah, if they make you feel guilty, right, condemned,
right,
any of those kind of feelings, that's not God. God is love.
And making you feel guilty. Let me clarify this. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do and you feel guilty as a result of that, that is not a bad feeling. Because you might truly feel some heaviness as a reaction to your inactions.
Yes.
Just going to say that.
Yes. But, and in addition to that, that should definitely feel right as conviction
Mm-hmm.
is what that should feel. So not from that person, but from God directly of,
Right.
okay, yeah, I know what I should be doing. Right. I need to get back to what I know I should be doing. Right. But if that person, when we say guilt, we're talking like someone is
Totally
doing
different.
this to you of
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be doing this, you did it, and this is what you should be. No,
No.
there's a way to chastise, there's a way to correct.
And there's a way to encourage, right? Where it's like,
Totally.
hey, we understand, right? Because that's usually when they send me back a response to my status email question. Seriously, my first couple of words in the next reply is I understand, period. And then I give them a level of grace on how we proceed forward, right?
Mhm.
So it's always going to be the understand, whatever it is. Okay, get it. We get it. Okay, life happens, people happen. You in a flesh jumpsuit. We get it.
Right.
Okay,
We
but we're
all
not going
know,
to
yeah.
stay there.
Nope.
Now let's talk about that. We're not staying there.
Mm-mm.
Acknowledged, understood. However, comma, we're not going to stay there.
Right.
What's the path forward?
Right. Because the blessings are tied
Come on.
together, right? You being my accountability partner, if I'm your accountability partner,
Mm-hmm.
then our blessings are tied. My obedience is just as important as your obedience, and vice
Listen,
versa.
and what we're not going to do in this season,
Not in these streets.
if we are in tandem, honey,
Mm-hmm.
you better get your life together if you in tandem with me. Because what you not going to do on this three-legged race, okay? You remember from elementary school, okay?
Yes.
No, you will get drugged if you in tandem with
That's
me.
what I said. Kicking and screaming with tissues
2020,
in hand.
you about to get drugged. Sorry, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about accountability and being in tandem with someone else who is an accountability partner. Not about dragging and dragging, but in tandem, like a three-legged race, right? We're in alignment. We're in alignment with God. We're in alignment with each other.
Right.
And it's about moving forward where God has us in tandem.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been a great topic tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from y'all. Let us know what you think about this topic. And be honest, be real. You can be real.
Like it's
On this
heavy.
show, we welcome it. If you don't like it and you like, I hated this topic, let me know. Because it's not a likable word. I don't see too many people walking around with merch that says accountability. It's just
No, not at all.
It's not something people quickly embrace. Let's put it like that. But those of us that recognize, those of us that can recognize we have a calling, we have purpose on our life,
that part,
then we are the ones that are like, okay, I may not want to embrace it, but I know I need to embrace it and I must embrace it.
And we've all experienced people who have not been accountable, right? Because I mean, I can tell you some stories that we're not going to put on the interweb. But
that's an I got question.
listen, of the people that when I call it, I'm like, girl, he or she is not accountable. Okay, they're not gonna own up to. They're just not a person that's accountable for their actions. They're reckless, and so it's tough to be in the lives of people who are not accountable. It's a very tough, you can't cut folks out. Sometimes you can, but sometimes you can't. And so to experience that ripple effect of people who are not accountable for their actions, and God forbid there be a bloodline where, you know, that's a ripple effect of someone's lack of accountability that just happens to land on your plate, right? That you had
Right.
no control over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do not uh, willingly, let's put it like this, nor do I volunteer myself to come in any partnership, friendship, acquaintanceship,
No
any
ship.
of the ships,
None of the ships, honey.
none of the ships with people that believe they don't need to be accountable to anyone,
Mm,
especially God.
mm-mm.
That's a no.
Can't do it.
Because then that tells me you're not living your life by conviction.
Reckless.
You live in your life like you live in your best life. You
Reckless.
out here living your best life.
That's
And
it.
if I attach my ship to your ship, we
Honey.
all going down.
Sinking ships.
And no, 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 no. Life is too short. No, no,
Mm-mm.
won't be attaching my ship to your solo ship. No, no.
It's real. There's so many people that are just not accountable. I mean, I call it reckless. You can call it, you know, everybody's got a word to describe it, but it's dangerous.
It
It's
is.
dangerous.
It is. And it, dangerous naturally and spiritually, right?
Absolutely.
And it's the spiritual, I would dare say, me personally, I'm more concerned about and I'm more afraid of. Like,
Listen,
okay, the natural repercussions, the repercussions here on earth are one thing.
correct.
I'm not trying to stand before God
Mm-mm.
and have to answer as to why
For
I,
you,
I linked up. I,
listen,
no,
we got our
no,
own. We got our own. We surely not gonna take it for what are we talking about?
no.
Love y'all, but no,
From a
absolutely not.
distance. I'm gonna love you from a distance. That's what I'm
Stepping
gonna
back.
do.
It's
That's
like
what I'm gonna do.
we step back. Mm-mm.
Love you from a full distance.
No, no.
Yeah, no, 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 no.
Mm-mm.
And let us know, our listeners, let us know if you had an experience, even if you've had an experience with somebody in your life that chose not to be accountable to anyone.
Mm, mm, mm.
Let us know, how you dealt with that. Or if you're still dealing with that. Maybe you're still dealing with that.
Mm,
Even now, right?
mm.
Even now.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true because you'll find children that aren't accountable for their actions become adults who refuse to be accountable for their actions,
Yes.
right? And it's
Yeah.
everybody else. Oh, it's not me. It's definitely you.
It's you.
Oh no, it's you.
All you.
100%. 100%. There's certain things that are environmental, certain things that are circumstantial. Okay. You get a pass on some stuff, but everything.
Mm,
No, ma'am, no, sir.
mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
What the old folks used to say, when you pointing the finger, there's three fingers pointing back at you. It's
How
like,
about it?
okay.
How about it?
Going back to that scripture, take in account.
All
Each man take their own selves into account, right?
100%.
Yeah. Uh, Ooh, y'all, we want to know. We want to know how you feel. We want to know how you feel. So post it in the comments. Even if this is on replay, our
Mm-hmm.
comments are still live. So you are welcome to comment or reply. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can comment as well. You can reply, let us know
Yeah, we love to
where
hear it.
you are with that word tonight, with that A word. That A word.
Yeah, this has been an interesting start to season 3, and I don't know where God is taking us because y'all, this is God's show. We just happen to show up every Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 6
6
Central.
Central.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is we just happen to show up, but this is God's show. I tell people this is our modern day ministry on video. That's what this is. So we don't know. We pray about it and we let God tell us. and how he guides, how he instructs. We are just the vessels. And if this is, as the old people say, if there's a hit dog, if it hollers, okay, please don't take it personal. Because grandma would say it, honey, every hit dog will holler. Like it's not, we're living it too, right? So please know this ain't personal. This is not no attack. We're not calling nobody out. If you feeling it, if the shoe is fitting, hunty.
If your toes are feeling stepped on, just know that we conversate with ourselves first. So you're not alone. You're never alone.
Never.
If you ever watch any of our episodes, please know we have conversated with ourselves before we come on here live and conversate with you.
That part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is great. I'm looking forward to the Tuesdays. If you're watching on the replay,
tell everybody what we got. Tell them. You gonna tell them? You gonna tell them some news?
You want me to tell them? You want me to tell them?
I think you should tell them.
She want me to tell y'all. Okay, she want me to tell you. Well, next week, honey. Next week, you got to tune in next week, which is next Tuesday. And if you're watching this on the replay, that is Tuesday, October 25th. 2022. Okay. And so next week we will be announcing that we will be launching our new merch. We're so excited to have some listen with Tania and Win merch. Very, very excited. So stay tuned for those details on how to obtain the merch, the swag, and some of the great things that we will be using on the show. You'll be able to have access to purchase and have at home.
Yes, and it's as always just in time for the holidays, so it's kind of perfect. And you'll want to get in on it soon.
Right.
You will not want to delay. You will not want to tardy on it.
She said tardy.
You will not. You will not. And this season, we're so excited. There's so many things we have in store for this season. If you didn't get a chance to watch any of our past seasons, catch up. Binge watch. Take a Saturday, take a Sunday afternoon. After church. Take an afternoon, take a weekend.
Yeah.
Just get caught up on all our episodes, all the past ones. They're still for right now available on YouTube to watch and on Facebook, our Facebook channel, Facebook page. So you can still watch all of season 1 and season 2. This season we'll be bringing back a few people. We don't want to tell you who they are yet.
We got to show up. It's a surprise, honey. We're not telling you about no more future episodes. Surprisings.
A few people, but as you can already tell, this season we hitting the ground running, and this is going to be a real and relevant season, unlike any other.
Buckle up.
Strap in. Strap in and hold on. That's all I can honestly say. Just strap in and hold on.
Honey, and if this may hit you, this may hit your family, your friends. It's okay. Go ahead and share it. Share this episode. Go back and watch the last 2 seasons. Share any of those episodes. It's okay if you don't want to have the conversation with someone and you just want to bless them with an episode. Your cousins got you. We got you. No problem. We'll be the messengers. Okay. Not a problem. Put the link.
Right. So I'm excited because for the first time
ever
since launching the show, we will be in the same room, in the same time zone.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all stay tuned for that. We'll let you know more about that, but that's going to be soon.
We're going to be sitting next to each other, honey.
Soon. So soon. And we apologize in advance for that episode because
listen,
when we're in the same, it's enough when we are on the phone or online. It's a whole nother a whole
dynamic.
another, let me make my words right. It's a whole another thing when we are in the same room.
Yes.
And our producer, Danielle, is going to be there with us. So it's
Whoop, whoop,
going to
whoop.
be a Texas turn up, y'all. Y'all
It's going to be a
stay
Texas
tuned for
turn up.
that date. Stay
Yes.
tuned for that date and the topic.
It's coming up
Woo!
soon. It's coming up soon. So we're excited about being in the building, and in the same building for the first time ever since launching this modern day ministry online. So it's going to be a good time. I'm excited about it, honey. I mean,
I
you
am
get
excited.
listen,
I'm
Texas
excited.
tacos and Tania. I tell you, what else? What else? What I mean,
I don't know. But the other things we probably can't say right now on this live stream.
there that part. That
Yeah,
part. Those were
it's
3
okay.
T's.
That's
This
good
is
enough.
good. This is so good.
So listen, y'all. We appreciate all of our listeners so much. Thank you for hanging with us on this very, very transparent journey that we don't even have words to describe. When people ask us, what is your show about? We're like, it's whatever God tells us it's gonna be about.
That part.
That's how we doing it.
Mm-hmm.
How are we doing it? So share the love. And like we said earlier, let us know, post in the comments where you're watching us from, because we'd love to know if we're reaching beyond our towns, truly in our area. So we will see you all right back here next Tuesday,
Next
6 Eastern.
and 7
Sorry, 7 Eastern.
7 Eastern and
Ooh,
6 Central.
and 6 Central. We will be right back here with another hot topic, another real and relevant discussion, and we can't wait for you to join us. So until next week, y'all keep listening.
Listen. Have a good night.